with anyone. I could be with anyone. You're here with me. You're here with me. You could be around for
You could be with anyone, and I could be with anyone. You're here with me. You're here with
Let's get
me.
it. Hi guys, welcome to the open letter. I decided to start doing these series of videos because I noticed that as YouTubers, a lot of times we do reaction shows on people or reactions videos on people who we don't know because we don't know anybody that we're doing videos about. We're just making observations on specific situations. And I tried to take, at least on this channel, I tried to take a realm where, a path where I would make observations that may be cross over to somebody else. In these series of videos, I'm going to speak directly to the people whom we are talking about. So in this particular video, I'm going to be talking about Cody Brands. One of the things that I noticed about how you carry yourself is that you tend to build walls around yourself. As you experience pain, you go through the extraordinary effort of trying to protect yourself from that pain. When the family weren't doing what you wanted them to do during COVID, and they were still meeting with each other, Christine and Janelle were still meeting with each other, and they were going off to see their kids during COVID, and you wanted them to lock up and hole up in the house, and they refused to do it. You were deeply affected, and so you started to build up walls against them, and you started saying that you weren't going to come around and see them, etc., 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 because your feelings were hurt. But you didn't respect their decisions. And that's part of the problem. That's one of the hypocrisies that people didn't like about your particular character. And they found that hypocritical. You've been saying for 18 seasons that the mainstream America, as we look at relationships, should be open to you making your own decision when it comes to polygamy. We should respect your choices. But then, when the wives are given the same opportunity to make a different choice, you didn't respect their choices. Of course, you came out and said that you respected their choices, but then you turned right around and blamed them for destroying the family because they disrespected you, because they didn't do what you told them to do. You have to respect their choices. You have to own it. The second part of it is that as I watch your relationships break down between you, Christine, Janelle, Mary, you started to build walls from each one of those relationships. You had troubles with Christine, you started building walls, and all of a sudden you have problems with Janelle, and that relationship falls apart. You've been had problems with Mary. That relationship fell apart, or at least you concluded it on the show, you know. But you also started to reveal that you were doing the same thing to Robin. My deeper concern is that you're going to do the same thing after the loss of your child. My condolences for that. You lost it. That's a hard loss. And it's going to be a long time, if ever, that you're even going to get past it. But here's the thing. You have to do what you need to do because it's not all about you. You have to do what you need to do because you have these ladies who are the mother of your kids and the caretakers of your children. They're hurt and they're in a bad place. You have 17 souls and their kids, your kids and their kids who are in a bad place. They lost their brother. You lost your child. They lost their brother. And they're in a hard position. They're in a hard situation and they need their father. So you have to do what you need to do to patch yourself up as best you can and stay present for your kids. You have to stay present for the people around you so that you can help them get through it. And what you'll find is by relying on and being around and being there for the people who need you the most, you'll find healing in that presence. You'll find healing in that. If you can just be there for your kids when they need you, it'll help you too. Now, I know that's selfish as hell. That sounds crazy. And hopefully you're not just doing it to help yourself. But you will find some peace in helping your kids get through it. And my encouragement would be that you try your best to be there for your kids. I know it hurts, but stop running away from the pain that you feel. You have to be able to face it and deal with it so that you can help your kids face their pain and deal with their pain. You can help their moms face their pain and deal with their pain so that they can be there for your kids and help your children through it. We can't sit here, and this is even for us as content creators, because I see a lot of emphasis placed on the loss of one child, and I don't want to say his name because I don't want to, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that guy, keep throwing his name out there. But we all know what we're talking about and whom we're talking about. It's so easy to focus on that one child and forget that there's 17 other souls out there who need help as well. People who we can do something about. People whom we can help today. And people who you specifically can help today. I can only make videos and talk to them through the videos. You can call them up and go to their house. You have that relationship with them. You can repair the relationship you have with them. And for the people who will sit there and say, well, James, why are you talking to him? He's a narcissist. He ain't going to be able to do it. He only thinks about himself. There are parts of that may be true. But I can't diagnose you as that. I'm not qualified to do it. And beyond qualifications, I don't know you. I've never sat in a room with you. I've never talked to you specifically. I don't know what your personality types are. I just know what I saw on TV and what I've seen on TV. And even if I did have the qualifications and I knew you personally and I sat here and I diagnosed you as that, we can't throw away people. We're not throwing away folks. I'm not gonna cast people aside and just put people in a box. You're a narcissist, you're an evil person, and you should never be dealt with. We should put you on the island, and you should never deal with anybody, because there are people who are suffering, who have been diagnosed with narcissism or narcissistic tendencies or behavioral issues, and they are able to lead healthy, functional lives, even if it's with treatment. There are people who are walking around who are psychopaths and sociopaths who have learned to deal with their situations, and they live, relatively normal lives, and they're healthy and everything else. So I'm not going to throw people away, especially when those people have 17 or 18 other dependents who are depending on them for their own happiness. So don't close the door on yourself. Give yourself the opportunity. Instead of trying to, like I hear a lot of times on the show, and maybe it's just a show, granted. Maybe it's just a show, but I hear a lot of times on the show where you guys start talking about, between you and Robin, start talking about going to get help and seeing a therapist and doing these group sessions. Bump them group sessions. You guys need to do individual sessions. You need to do sessions for yourself. Go and find a therapist that you like, that you trust, that you can sit down and talk to, and start working through your issues. Then after you reach a certain point, and through communication and through your time with that therapist and your work with that therapist, you can then decide whether it's appropriate for you to start bringing other people in, possibly into a group setting, for you to be able to start working on those relationships. But the first part of it is you have to start working on your side of those relationships first. You have to start taking care of yourself first. You have to start healing yourself first before you start trying to do the advanced thing by adding additional people. This is almost like marriage to a degree. You should be able to have at least one functional relationship before you start adding additional people to the relationship. That's my two. Let me know what you think down below. If you want to write back, Cody, that's fine. If you ever want to come on my show, hit a brother up. MyTakeOnRealityQuestions at gmail.com. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Leave your comments down below on things that you would want to say, if you could say it. I'll see you on the next one. My name is James. This has been My Take on Reality, and I'm out.
'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for
yes, yes.